Sorry.
Are we live?
We have a show.
We are. We're live.
We're live.
We have a show today.
We're at San Diego.
Let's talk politics tonight.
Yeah.
San Diego weather.
Just money, you know?
Okay, let's talk finances.
Yeah.
We won't do sports tonight. We'll do finances.
Well, we could do the, balancing payroll version of sports, you know? That's probably what we got to talk about the abs anyway, right?
You hear a little deep sigh?
Sorry. I hate to take it to off-season talk so quick, but that's where we're at.
You got to turn the page, man. Next man up.
Yeah.
You got to turn the page, dog.
That worked out so well with McCarr and McKinnon, right? Next man up.
Did you hear about
I'm sorry.
Von Miller coming back?
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Is that on the rundown?
It is.
Nice. That is.
Making the news.
One last ride. I love the way you put that, you know.
For sure.
Von Miller's opening press conference. Let's ride.
I had to get a slight dig in there while I...
That was good.
Yo, welcome to the show. I am Arthur Knight. Welcome to the Sports Feed Show. I am Arthur Knight, and with me today is Mr. Ryan Lagan. Say hello to the fiends there, Ryan.
Hey, hello to the fiends there,
fiends.
Ryan.
Nice.
You could set. I'm gonna do the what do you call it? The Ron Burgundy thing on that. If you want to set me up a little worse next time, you know.
Bruh, I'm gonna get you a teleprompter, and then you're gonna have to read everything that's in it.
Say hello to all those chumps at home, Ryan, or whatever. I don't know. Just kidding. Love
Go
the
suck it,
fiends.
San Diego.
Exactly.
Okay, with that said,
Or Oklahoma.
Yeah. Right?
yes, suck it, Oklahoma.
Go suck it, OKC.
All right, with that said,
We're at 33-22.
what? San
what?
Antonio's up 43-22?
33-20.
Oh, 33.
Oh,
okay.
Don't get us too excited over
Woo,
there.
I
Come
was
on.
like, I could not have heard that correctly.
That would have been awesome. Let's go.
That would have been awesome. Not really.
33-22 is okay, though. We'll take that.
Well, as long as they win at the end. We're coming to you live from SoHi Studios in Denver, Colorado. We love sports like you love sports, and we are brought to you by iEnvy Vision. iEnvy Vision is devoted to offering affordable and fashionable eyewear. iEnvy Vision is your eye care advocate. Their goal is to provide with the education and awareness needed to make an informed decision about your vision and health. They are located off of Alameda and Buckley in Aurora, Colorado, but you can call or book today at 720-762-4290 or online at ienvyvision.com. They take most medical insurance and Medicaid, but check this out. For those of you who do not have insurance, for a limited time, they have their out-of-pocket special. This includes your frame and lenses, both starting at $79 for kids and as low as $99 for adults. So call or book today, 720-762-4290 or ienvyvision.com. That's 720-762-4290 or ienvyvision.com. iEnvy Vision, we see you. And tell them that the Phenz I can't talk today. The Sports Fiends sent you.
We're just keeping everyone on their toes out here, you know.
Professional.
First, we're adding new deals into the promo. Then we're renaming our fan base.
Yeah,
You never know what's going to happen next on this show.
They've
you
always
know?
been the Sports Fiends. We're all Sports Fiends.
No, they've never been the Sports Fins. That's what I'm saying.
No, not the Fins.
Yeah,
Not the Fins. No, that has to do with Miami, and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, now that we have Jalen Waddle, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, a couple weeks ago, I said it is a great day to be a Colorado sports fan.
Womp.
Today, it's pretty sad.
That take didn't age well.
It's not aging well at all. And that was only like a month ago, 2 months ago, and it died and withered on the vine.
Oh no.
It's still a great day to be a Colorado fan. We have great teams here. But the Avalanche crapped the bed, gets swept by the Golden Knights. A lot of people out there are saying that they need to blow up the team, get a new coach, all of these things. I'm on the fence when it comes. I don't think the team needs to be broken up per se. I think they got some really bad injuries late. Just some bad luck. Some really bad luck. Very similar to the Denver Broncos. Some very bad luck at the end of the season or at the worst time and end up losing.
I always want to know who you're like. A lot of people are saying because you get like the funniest, like straw poll take. Like, is that just you at home with the Magic 8 Ball going like, break the team up, Magic 8 Ball?
No, this is stuff
Who's
you
saying
hear.
this stuff?
I told you, I listen to everything.
Okay.
I listen
Clearly.
to podcasts. I listen to all kinds of radio. It's mainly people on radio stations here around town. I don't like name dropping because of the fact that you have to pay for that. So I'm not I'm not going to name drop because then you got to cite your source. But and we're fans here. We're not professional. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that.
It's amateur hour around here.
Amateur hour. We're fans here.
All right, but here's
no. There are even some fans on Twitter, Facebook, etc., calling for the head of Jared Bednar. And blowing up this team because they haven't been able to win.
Well, hockey coaches do seem to be pretty dispensable these days. The NHL is joining the trend of a lot of other leagues. They're just having a quick trigger on those. I don't know if that's necessarily like, the end of the world, but, coming from someone who, Bruins let our coach go right after, setting the NHL, like, regular season points record, and then, like, he was gone like that afterwards, and now he's succeeding in, I think St. Louis, if I remember right. But, so, I mean, it happens. I don't know if Bednar is necessarily at fault, but short of him, what does blowing it up mean? Because you're not going to get rid of McKinnon. You're not going to get rid of McCarr. And I think in a lot of ways, it probably resembles the Nuggets situation of okay, outside of those two, outside of Jokic, maybe you're not going out of your way to shop anyone, but you got to at least take calls on everybody else, right?
I mean, yeah, you do. You really do. I don't know about blowing up the whole team. I don't feel that's that extreme. We're there yet. I don't know. I don't even know if the message, excuse me, I don't even know if Bednard's message has gotten lost in the locker room. I honestly just don't know. I follow the team, not as extensively as I do the Denver Nuggets, obviously, because they have just as long of a season as the Denver Nuggets, and I have to pick and choose my battles most often than not because a lot of nights they played on the same nights, and there are some nights where I watch the Avalanche. There are some nights where I watch the Nuggets. But to your point, they are at that same crossroads. Like, do you run it back with the same coach, same team, et cetera? And it's hard as a fan. You want to see results. Mm-hmm. You want to see results. And we're not getting that from this Avalanche team. We have on this team 3 to 4 of the top 10 players in the world on this team.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2. I don't know if I would.
Okay. Landeskog isn't. You don't think Landy's not a okay?
He's an elite player, but I wouldn't put him top 10.
He was
in the
at one point in time.
yeah.
He was at one point in time when he got injured. He probably went down a little.
He's been awesome with what he's been able to contribute, given what he's been through, 100%. But the NHL's got some players out there, man. Like, I wouldn't put him in the top 10, but that doesn't mean he's not very deserving of being on your top line by any means.
He's a top player in the world.
Yes, he is one of the best hockey players in the world generally. Yes.
On any team he's on the top line is all I'm saying. They have 2 or 3 of the top players in the world, not just in the country, not just Canadian, in the world, and cannot get another ring.
So, but then, when you talk about Bednar, this is my question, right? Because they're having this conversation about Kenny Atkinson right now, and they had the conversation about Tom Thibodeau last year, and these coaches that get so close to the mountaintop, but they don't want to break the team up, but they want to do something to try to put them over the top, right? But then, to me, the conversation always comes back to, and this you could even relate to the Adelman conversation after the Nuggets got bounced. Were there specific adjustments that you wanted to see this team make throughout that series that he was just failing to make, or are you wanting to change things up for the sake of changing it up? And if it's the latter, to me, that has to come from the locker room and not from, anyone in the front office, right? If the locker room is saying, this guy's messaging is stale, we need a new voice in there, that's one thing. But if the locker room believes in Bednar and there isn't a specific thing that you're looking at going, oh, he totally missed on this or that adjustment, I don't love the idea of, because you've seen those, you lose the locker room making the change sometimes too if you don't consult the players on it as well, and then that could leave you in a worse situation.
Of course.
Look at what happened with Milwaukee. They got rid of that guy just to get rid of him. I can't even remember his name. And I
remember us saying well, why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you do that? At least let him finish out the season. I mean, even the Denver Nuggets allowed Michael Malone to finish. There's only 3 games left.
Yeah,
they pretty much I think they knew they were going to fire him at the beginning of the season, both of them.
Yeah,
but they waited till the end. And to your point, I personally do not feel like this team should be broken up. I think they put the right pieces halfway through the season in place for them to make a great run. They got the President's Trophy. They got all of these things this year.
Yeah.
But all of it's for naught if you can't win the cup, right? I don't personally, like I said, I don't personally feel like they need to change too much. There's probably something they're going to need to do about penalty, not penalty killing, because they were the best in penalty killing, but scoring
on the power play.
Yeah, on the power play. That's what it was. Excuse me. Scoring on the power play, man, is like their Achilles heel. Like
it's crazy to think about. Yeah.
How does this team with some of the best scorers in the world not able to put up points?
Yeah. It's
in 4 games.
Right. It's almost turning into like a President's Cup curse in the NHL now. It's been at least 13 years since the last President's Cup winner won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for what, and obviously hockey's got the elements that soccer, for example, has, where you can outshoot a team 3-1, but if you happen to catch the right breaks, if your goalie happens to be playing outstanding, you can lose a game anyway, right? Yep. Even if it's a low score, whatever.
Hockey has a lot of luck in it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Vegas team that they got swept by is a team that they had 30 more points than in the regular season.
They had also fired their coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, to look at this situation and say there's major overhaul needed, I think is just an overreaction.
Agreed.
But I mean, you got to be hot at the right time sometimes. And, thinking about the difference between the Avs and the Nuggets, it at least was a lot more competitive series than the Nuggets was. There were times where the Nuggets was
more.
Yeah, I mean, especially with all the crap that the T-Wolves locker room was talking in the media and stuff, you would think that would light a fire under their...
In a sweep, the Avalanche played the best you could play in a sweep.
They were in every game, right? Yeah. I mean, they lost most of them by 2 because of empty net goals, but but they were close games. They had a legitimate shot to win every game. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that the 3-0 choke job is going to sit with them, in particular for a lot of this offseason, I'm sure. Yeah. But Wedgwood and Blackwood didn't play horrible. There was no, I mean, there was the 1 5-goal game with the 1 or 2 empty netters, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't like
they only let 3 actually go through the net, though.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Minnesota series where even when they were winning, they were still giving up 6 goals at times, right? They were at least playing well. It's just I think 3 out of the 4 games the Avs had more shots as well. Just one of those things. But yeah, I don't think you overreact here. Your team is experienced but not old. I don't think there's any reason to say that.
Most of your guys are still in their window.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing: as long as McKinnon and Makar are in their window, your team is in its window, right? Obviously the depth that they've accumulated is not negligible by any means, right? But I don't think there's any reason to think that this team can't, more or less run it back and have every chance to finish the job next year.
Now, next year, if you get bounced without getting the cup,
sure,
probably going to have to make some changes.
Well, I mean, the one thing, if we're going to take a positive away from it, they hadn't been out of the first round since the Stanley Cup that they won, right? Mm-hmm. So, from that perspective, at least they gave us a little bit of a deeper run, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Next year, though, if you get bounced at any level.
But if they lost in 6 or 7 to Vegas, as opposed to the sweep, I do think we'd be having a different conversation on that side of it, too.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. No. Well stated. I'm gonna skip around here on the rundown here.
Okay.
Just a little bit because I know you are leaving early.
Just a little bit.
And I want to get to this. I mean, he comes in late and then he leaves early. This guy right here.
I was here for sound check, okay?
He was here to hear sound check.
You heard me. You heard me at the doorway at 6:59 going, check, check, check.
He was here to hear sound check. He was not here for sound check.
I try to make the most of my time. Life is short.
Well, as I've stated several times on this show for several months now, we're not professional here. We will come in hot, start late, end late, end early. That's what we do. Yep. I mean, it just is what it is. Anyway.
Next time I'll come rolling over the table after we've gone live for you. Just add a little dramatic flair to it,
Like when the old police car, like when they roll over.
Police chases. Yeah, exactly. You got to play a little theme music for me.
I don't know if this table... I don't know if this table, man. We'll have to ask Vinny on that one. We'll have to get some waivers signed.
I want my spy music if I do it, though. I went Austin Powers for spy music.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we can make it happen. That's what I'm saying. We can make it happen.
All right, perfect.
We just need a waiver sign.
I'm gonna be here like 15 minutes early, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's the thing.
I'm doing it on GP. Like this is happening. That's too funny. Okay, what's not funny?
No, it's not funny.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Getting arrested. What does that spell for your team, my guy? I know you're a diehard cheesehead, We put the picture up last year when your team lost to my team, but I digress on that. Let me roll that back.
It spells a moral quandary because, there's, and obviously it's a developing story. We don't know how it's all going to play out yet. From what I understand,
he turned himself in.
No, I know, but they released him because they were still gathering evidence or something like that. So they haven't tried him yet or anything like that. We don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I think back to when all the Deshaun Watson stuff was coming out and the Justin Tucker stuff, and it was easy to look at those things from a distance and be like, well, that's a shame, oh well.
But you never know when you're not there.
Yeah, and it does hit a little different when it's your team and this is someone that you've rooted for and been hyped about. Since he's been huge for us. Obviously, he had a little bit of health issues last year, but massive part of the offense last couple of seasons.
And you could tell when you missed him last year. You could tell the offense dipped.
Absolutely, there was you got. I think Emmanuel Wilson had couple big plays here and there in spurts, but nothing like the sort of contribution it was. And obviously, depending on what they find in this, in this case and stuff, it's going to be much bigger than the football side of it. But it hurts to see that happen with someone that you were rooting for. And, now even if he does beat the case, even if he does come back and is productive or whatever else, like if they, and when I say beat the case, like hopefully, justifiably, like, cause, they're false accusations if that's how it ends up being, and hopefully if it's true,
that does happen,
and hopefully it does, and hopefully if it is true that justice is served also, right? But like even if he does come back, there's always going to be that thought in the back of your head, like, I don't want to root for this guy.
It's a stink you can never wash off.
Yeah,
I think is your point.
Right.
Like, that's something that is literally going to follow him now, and it could end his career like it did Rice.
Yeah.
Like you remember that a few years back when Rice, I mean, now he's doing better now. And I'm not trying to like rip the Band-Aid with his situation. I'm just trying to say like it could end up being that type of situation. And that sucks. And I'm not trying to talk because I've been a victim of lies and stuff like that. Like it happens all the time, even to ordinary people every day, where one person says this, there's a recording, but there's no video. There's all kinds of stuff, and there's all kinds of allegations. I'm asking this because you're a Green Bay Packer fan, and this does affect him on the field. And that's what this show is about. Like, really, I'm not really trying to get into his personal business.
That's fair. So let's assume, that he's not going to be on the team this year. For whatever. Like, we'll leave all that stuff on the side because we don't know what we don't know. It's not our place to pass judgment at this point, right?
Right.
I hope that everybody's okay. I hope nobody was seriously hurt, regardless, and I hope it all works out the way it's supposed to.
Right.
To the football side of it, yeah, that running back room is extremely, extremely thin without him in it. And it's by design. Like they paid him the money they paid him with the intention of knowing, okay, we would rather put the massive amount of the workload on this guy's shoulders than try to pay like a deep committee to approach it that way, right? And so now what do you do? And not that this team was big spenders this offseason, but the Micah Parsons contract was a huge part of that. The Jordan Love contract is a huge part of that. There's not a lot for them to spend. And so there was only so much they could already do to upgrade this roster. The NFC North isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The Vikings have Kyler Murray now. We'll see, how effective that makes them. But the Lions are going to be formidable, and obviously the Bears are actually a team you have to take seriously now for once in our lifetimes.
Which is strange to say.
It's very bizarre. I hate it, actually.
He just threw up a little bit in his mouth, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's disgusting. But I'll make my peace with it at some point, I'm sure. So I mean, when you talk about the depth of that division, and how much they relied a lot on that running game last year, for better or worse. They actually got a lot of criticism for it, of course, right? Given the weapons on that team, but they got thinner at wide receiver already, and so. And Micah Parsons is not going to be back for week 1. So now all of a sudden, you got these questions piling up on this team, and you don't really have good answers for a lot of them right now.
It's a good thing you guys got good coaching.
Yeah, well, and so that's the ceiling, right? You still have good coaching. Micah Parsons should be back in, the first, whatever it is, month and a half, what have you. Hopefully he comes back looking like, the best version of himself, which isn't a guarantee, but hopefully he does. They got a new DC in there. Hopefully he can come in and do a good job. They got a new special teams, coaching staff. And this, like a lot of teams that have handed out these big contracts to their quarterbacks, you're continuing to rely on guys that are making $60 million a year to play like it, right? Either be an MVP contender or be within that threshold. Or else you just don't have the money to build the depth of talent elsewhere on the roster to compete for a Super Bowl,
No, I completely agree. Do you want a bit of a silver lining here?
Our schedule?
Your schedule.
Yeah.
Your schedule leans to give you a little bit of leeway in the beginning. Very small. Very small.
Yeah.
But there's the silver lining there.
Yeah, well, this was interesting. We were talking about it last week because it came out while we were on the show, right? Or 2 weeks ago. We were looking at the Packers schedule going, oh, that doesn't look too bad. And we were looking at the Broncos schedule going, oh,
ouch,
it's a monster. And then the rankings were flip-flopped as far as strength of schedule based on last year's record. So I don't know what that was about.
I don't know
or
either.
What we're missing there. But yes, thank goodness, while we're waiting for Parsons to come back, we get, Minnesota, the Jets, the Falcons.
Yeah, when you get to week 5, then the meat and potatoes of your schedule starts to get a little harder.
Yeah, well, and the Falcons might not be bad. And Tampa usually is at least decent, right? And then, Minnesota is just a huge question mark. There's a lot of people that seem
you
to
don't know
think
what you're going to get from them.
Yeah, but obviously if we can go into Minnesota because, they're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation or Kyler Murray's still trying to get adjusted in that offense or whatever that is, if you can go into Minnesota and get a division win, obviously, you just hold serve against the Jets. You beat them 12-10 with 50 yards of offense if you have to.
Bro, if you're 2-2, if you're 2-2 after week 4, your team with the downsides to what they have now or the things that are holding them back, you're sitting actually pretty good.
We're okay, yeah. And I would even love to be greedy and hope to get 1 or 2 up between Atlanta and Tampa. And get to 3-1 because obviously then we go we go Chicago, Dallas, Detroit. I mean, we'll see what Carolina and New England are. But then Minnesota again, Rams. Like it ramps up.
Yeah.
The Saints, I don't think are going to be that bad. They're not like probably like what we were talking about with the Raiders last year. Like they're not ready to be contenders, but like they're
on that cusp though.
They've been so bad for a while. They've been stockpiling like high draft picks and stuff, and they started showing a little bit of promise last year.
Eventually, they are going to be good.
They're at least going to be competitive,
yes.
right? You got to play Buffalo and Houston. God, those are not going to be fun games, especially late in the year.
No, that's why you got to get your team has to win a lot of games at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you got to eat while the eating's good.
you do, and that's why I say if they're 2-2 coming out of week 4, you're actually sitting okay because then you could get some of these players that we're talking about back.
Parsons. That's some of these players. That's the main.
Okay,
that's like 3 pass rushers, basically.
Right. It's going to be tough because but Green Bay their defense was really good before they got Parsons. So I think they can figure it out with their coaching staff. It makes it so much easier when you have him on the other side. Now, speaking of great linebackers, basically historic linebackers.
Nice. Von Miller.
There has been a call for Von Miller, mainly by Von Miller, to come back to the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And it's a talk around town. Should they bring him back? Do they need to bring him back? My humble opinion, they don't necessarily need to bring him back, but could they bring him back for like a nostalgia purpose? Maybe even just to have them young guys on the linebacking core to have him in that locker room. Mm-hmm. Could be a game changer. I say if you can do it, do it. If it's not like in the books, like money wise, why waste the time? Why waste the roster spot?
I think Sean Payton should take his slice of humble pie, allow other leadership voices into his locker room, okay, and then treat both Von and Justin Simmons as your Udonis Haslams, right? Give them the vet minimum, put them on the end of the bench. Maybe they get a couple snaps in here and there, but they're mostly there for the locker room, for practice, for driving the culture. That's what I would say.
Okay, I'm just saying if it's financially feasible, do it. If not,
vet minimum, baby. That's all it is.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it if it does the dollars don't make sense. Like you just can't. You just can't. I don't necessarily want the roster spot. I love Justin Simmons and Von Miller. I would love to see both of them. And don't count out more Justin Simmons than Von Miller. I think Justin Simmons could be in a Denver Broncos uniform before Von Miller by the end of the season. That's for certain. Just because of how deep the Denver Broncos are at the linebacking core, and they just drafted at that. You know what I'm saying? So they just drafted at that position. They did draft at safety as well. So it's kind of like, but I would say safety is a little more thinner, and they've had more injury issues at safety over the past couple of years.
You think so?
Than they have at linebacker. Yeah. Oh, of course.
I think
their pass rush hasn't slowed down for 2 years. They've been the top pass rush.
But the linebackers aren't like it's the guys on the D line that are driving the pass rush more than the linebacking core. The linebacking core has been a weakness, which is why they drafted.
Well, it's one guy on the defensive line that's driving the. But there's 2 linebackers that Johnson and oh my God. Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
The D line, you got, Benito, Zach Allen, Franklin Myers. Like,
Benito's not a D line. They're linebackers.
Well, he's an edge. He's not a linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, point being,
in a 3-4, he's a linebacker.
Okay. All right. Positionless basketball. We're back to it.
No, not football.
None of them play center. Okay, they're all power forwards. No, so this is what I was gonna say though. So you've got some youth on the linebacking core on the a good pairing is, the youthful legs with, the veteran leader that can teach them, the right habits and, the right lifestyle to be successful, right? Mm-hmm. On the safety side, you do already have Hufanga who can fill that role. And you don't really have that with the linebacking core. You were hoping that Greenlaw would be that guy, and he never was that guy. Now he's gone, right?
Yeah, and I think they drafted to that, though, but that kid's got a little time.
But that's my point, though. I think Von Miller Miller is a bigger benefit to your linebacking draft picks than Justin Simmons is to your safety draft picks because of what Hufanga represents to this defense. That would be my argument.
Okay, I mean that makes sense, and that's not a bad argument. But here's my counterpoint: the fact that Von Miller's what the Broncos need is a middle linebacker general. Mm-hmm. Like they need that guy that night in and night out. That's like you said. That's what they thought Greenlaw was going to be.
Von's sitting at the edge of his seat right now. Like
but Von's not that guy. He's not a middle linebacker. No, he can't cover. I mean, he can in a pinch, but he can't cover 20 plays out of the game. He can't.
Sure.
He's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to cover a tight end, 5-6 plays. It's just not going to happen. If the Denver Broncos wanted to bring in a linebacker that was going to actually make a difference, it would have to be somebody that's a middle linebacker, somebody that could be that guy that stops the run before it begins.
So who's that guy for them with the budget that they have at this point?
Well, I'm not saying that they have that guy or they're going to get that guy. I'm just saying there's more value to having a Justin Simmons behind that line. You would be able to move Hufanga up in a quote unquote, linebacker role, or not a linebacker. I forget what that role is called, but you'd be able to move him up to the line of scrimmage a lot more if you had Justin Simmons covering the backside. Is all I'm saying. That pair would be, but I'm not trying to take away from. I think his name is Jones. I think that's who we actually have as the free safety. The Denver Broncos have safety depth, but it's not as deep, especially for the type of defense that the Broncos run. The only piece that you could put in that linebacker core is a stout middle or inside, for 3-4 purposes, an inside linebacker. Back or insert that into this lineup in order for that linebacking core to get better. This linebacking core already blitzes the quarterback at a high clip. There's not too much that Von Miller can add to that, but having his presence, to your point, would be a good thing. If you can do it financially without hurting or pulling another piece from somewhere else. Like they can get rid of a tight end every once in a while. They could probably get rid of a tight end or two in order to create that roster spot for both of those players, because they don't utilize the tight end like they have 7 of them, but they don't utilize one of them.
I'm sure not all of them will make the final, opening day roster.
Well, they had 4 or 5 last year. I don't understand. I don't know why they would do anything different this year.
Didn't use any of them, right? Yeah, I think the thing you have to consider with any any defense in the NFL, right? You're always trying to cover up your weaknesses, right? And I think that with the pass rush and the cornerback play being the 2 strengths of the Denver defense, right? Mm-hmm. I think having, that kind of cornerback play makes it a lot easier on the safeties, right? And Hufanga already fills all your needs as far as, stopping the run game from the back end, where it makes life easy on the free safety, right? Mm-hmm. You're not asked as much as you are on other defenses. Within the linebacking core, your burden of pass rush is a lot lighter because of the depth that you have at defensive line. So the main weakness you're now trying to cover up is when you have to put those linebackers into pass protection, which to your point, or pass coverage, excuse me, mm-hmm. which to your point, Von Miller in his age, he was
even in his youth, he couldn't do that very well.
Any bigger dude struggles with that because of the lateral quickness involved that they don't excel at, right? Sure, but
because otherwise he would have been a safety or a corner,
right? And so it's nice to have younger linebackers and that can move a little bit better, right? Mm-hmm. But the biggest challenge for the young linebackers is going to be understanding, the game at the speed that they need to in the NFL. And to your point, being those, field generals of seeing what's going to happen before it happens, right? And that's the piece that I think Von Miller can teach them, even if he's not going to get consistent snaps on the field himself, right?
Okay. So. Well, having him would be a plus. It's not going to be a negative.
Sure.
unless he's just taking up a roster spot and taking up a bunch of money for no reason.
Yeah, you don't pay him big bucks. I don't think he's asking for it, though.
I don't think he is either.
Like,
he just wants to come in.
Yeah, him and Simmons are like, I'll pay you. Just let me put on orange and blue one more time, please.
You don't even have to pay me, bro.
Right.
If the league didn't make you pay me, I wouldn't take money.
Well, Simmons, he still has a house in Colorado, right?
So does Vaughn.
Yeah, so that's my point. I was like, we're literally paying the mortgage anyway. Like, you might as well,
we
just
live here.
I'll volunteer. Like,
I will carry water bottles on the sideline. Just let me be in a uniform. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, it would not be a bad thing. I definitely would like to see him in orange and blue again. I'd like to see both of them, especially seeing as the Broncos are in a window. But that's just not the position of need. Either one of those are the position of need that the Denver Broncos need. Everything's on the offensive side of the ball that they need. From offensive line to all the way, with exception of quarterback. I have heard some great things coming out of camp about this rookie running back that they drafted. I'm trying to think of his name.
Fourth round guy, right?
Yes. I've heard a lot of good things, especially about his pass protection, how good he is in pass protection at such a young age.
Yeah.
Definitely love that because you want to protect your highest asset on the offensive side of the ball, and that's your quarterback. And what better way when you're trying to get those deep passes that they love to throw, you need your running back to have the acumen or the aptitude to be able to block a 230 to 260 pound middle linebacker or outside linebackers trying to blitz your quarter or the nose tackle, etc. He's going to have to get into the mud and play with the big boys. He's just going to have to in order for this offense, the Denver Broncos runs, and in order for that to work, you need running backs that can block blitzing linebackers and blitzing corners for that matter. And I do think that if you're going to add any kind of veteran presence, it's going to have to be on the offensive side of the ball, personally. But for nostalgia purposes, and since I asked the question, I would say if you can make it happen, put Von Miller back on the team. Okay?
Why not? You got 100 roster spots.
By that, let's re-sign John Elway too. I'm just kidding.
Just for the quarterback room.
I'm kidding. Or maybe Peyton Manning. Maybe John Elway was too deep of a pool.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Maybe Joe Namath. I don't know.
Talk about a deep pool. Jesus. That's going way back.
Bart Starr. Come on.
We
got a spot for you.
Back. You know what goes way back?
What's that?
The last time the Knicks have been to the finals.
I knew you were going to say that. I should have answered it instead of I just wanted to set you up, though. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could have answered it.
Yeah,
That's the question. I asked the question.
You did.
I mean, he's like,
it's kind of like knock knock. Like, you're not going to say come in. You got to say who's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You do. You got.
You're not going to say go away, Arthur. You're going to say who's there.
Knock knock. Go away. That's the worst knock knock joke ever. All right. So 27 years since the Knicks have been.
It's been
to
84
the finals.
Years. You got that on the soundboard, Vinny?
He's got. I know all about that.
Dave's not here.
So 27 years, man. 27 years ago, I was in my early 20s or late teens, and that's crazy to me.
I was not watching basketball. I was 3.
This will really blow your mind. So they haven't won a championship since 1973.
Yep. I was not watching basketball then either. No,
I don't even think you were a glimmer in your daddy's eye at that time, brother.
Nah.
I wasn't even born then.
Nah.
And I have 10, 15 years on you. I wasn't even born then.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's historic.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Here we go.
I can see it brewing. In your stomach right now. The fact that we're talking about the Knicks and they're in the finals.
It's okay.
He hates this team. Phenz. He hates this team.
I will say, as I reflect on it, they are becoming the lesser evil in my mind to the Thunder. Obviously, if I'm rooting for the Spurs regardless at this point, even though I think they will get back and have more chances at this. But I think the Thunder winning again would be the worst case scenario. That's what I've resolved to.
I honestly could not agree more.
At least the Knicks would be refreshing, and that would mean that SGA wasn't getting all the calls that he wanted for another 5 games.
I think Oklahoma City winning again, and this is not just a hate thing because I'm a Denver Nuggets fan. I honestly think OKC winning is bad for the NBA.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's bad for the NBA.
It's easy.
It's unwatchable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any Thunder fans. I would love to ask them their perspective on this. But
well, of course they love it. I have a couple of friends that are.
Do they?
Oh yeah, they
don't
love
feel
it.
even a little guilty.
No, they don't care.
Oh my
They're
God.
like Bulls fans of the '90s, or even
man.
Boston fans of the '70s and '80s, bro. They don't care. They're
That's
unapologetic.
crazy.
They're unapologetic to how their team is playing, and they don't care.
No, it's like they should feel like, what's the name of the Olympian you always reference with the lead pipe to the knees or whatever.
Oh, Tanya Harding.
Yeah. It'd be like you're like Tanya Harding's mom watching her win a gold medal, and you know how she got it, right?
Right.
Like, how do you enjoy it at that point? Come on.
I don't know. A lot of people would say that Jokic kind of flops and stuff, and he flopped in that year that they won their championship. And I'm like, he also had massive amounts of triple doubles, averaged like 27 points a game.
They need to make an actual, like, some kind of statistical measure for this outside of just how many fouls get called and how many free throws you take. Like how like in soccer they have like expected goals, right? And regular goals. Like, so based on the quality of shots you're getting and stuff like that, you should have like expected fouls next to regular fouls, right? And then you could kind of compare like who's, how many calls you're really getting relative to how hard you're actually getting hit. That would be a fascinating statistic.
Well, did you get a chance to watch the video from what did you send that through? Was that Instagram? Was that IG?
That was in the Sports Fiends chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch it?
They were
Nick Wright.
Yeah, they were talking about the Nick Wright one. Yeah, sure.
I cannot stand Nick Wright. I call him Nick Wrong because he's wrong all the time.
Wrong.
In my opinion, let me state that. In my opinion, he's wrong all the time. But like, this is something him and I agree on. I think, I don't know, Vinny, if you can pull it up really quick. I think we got a couple of minutes to play it before Ryan's shoes are smoking at him. But he says, and I'm going to paraphrase really quick. He basically says that just like a flagrant foul or just like a technical foul or like any of those things where you not only get assessed a penalty in the game, you also get an accumulative, or you get a post game assess or fine, and then also you get the you get the accumulation.
Just real quick, because I know I got to roll here, but that rule is in the game. They put it in the game a couple years ago. They just never call it. Like
the flopping.
Yes, there's a foul that you can call for flopping.
Yep.
You tell me the last time you've seen it called, right?
I've seen it only called twice since it's been like twice ever, and I watch a lot of NBA games.
Was that in the first couple months after they rolled it out?
It was within the first 3 years of the rule being instituted or implemented.
And then tell me how many times you watched a replay where a guy gets hit. Right, and this is how far back he gets pushed because of the contact, and then there's a pause, and then there's a visible, like it's sad. It's sad, and
it really is. It reminds me of soccer, soccer back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, soccer's gotten a lot better about it, but man, or world football. They've gotten a lot better at that flopping crap, but it's starting to be an epidemic in the NBA, and I hate to say it because my favorite player, I'm wearing his jersey, is a European player, but it's the European players are really the ones that are kind of, and I know SGA's Canadian, I understand. But it's a world thing.
He's North American. Yeah, sure. I mean, here's the thing, like, and I don't love every take that comes through the national media and stuff like that, but there was a conversation around this that I did actually appreciate, right? Like, you think about the way that, the youth like emulates like what they're seeing, especially when people are winning championships, right? Think about, how many people like learned how to do, a hook shot because of Kareem, or a dream shake because of Hakeem, or
fadeaway because of MJ.
You know, a step back mid range because of MJ or because of Kobe, right? How many kids have yelled Kobe as they, you know, are taking a step back that they shouldn't take in their driveway over somebody, right? You know, and then obviously like one of the biggest ones. Think about how many people decided to start shooting from 35 feet away because of Steph, right? Like would have never happened without that. What I worry about is if I go to the rec center and I start, you know, balling with kids that are, you know, teenagers or whatever, like, and we're playing pickup and, you know, you start getting that's my
Somebody's
biggest.
going into convulsions on the court.
That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear, and I do have to run.
Their head back.
I do have to run, but SGA, please, like, you know, if you do win this year, be happy with your 2 rings.
Adam Silver.
If Nick Wright is on, I gotta leave. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
On the other
Keep
hand,
it playing,
they are
Vinny.
fruit of the same
All right, guys.
tree.
Good luck.
There are rules in place against both. They're not enforced at all. So the smarter teams figure out the ways to exploit it. And you can't convince me that Oklahoma City, with all of its intelligence and analytics and the fact that everyone on the team does it, that this isn't coached to a degree. Flopping comes from soccer. It was an epidemic in soccer. And guess what soccer did? You get harsh penalties in-game for flopping. I implore Adam Silver to be like, hey guys, I want everyone to understand, not only are the flopping rules going to be enforced, we are upping them to absolute objective acting is an offensive foul. And just the way there is technical foul or flagrant foul accumulation, over the course of the season, that can lead to a suspension. True acting. True, like, I was not touched and I fall over. That I can be suspended a game for that. Games. This is awful. And if they win again, everyone will feel like they have to do it. In other words, I think America needs the Knicks to win the title. There are two things fans.
Now, that's the thing. Like I said, I could not agree more with Nick Wright on that point. I think there should be more severe penalties, or hell, just start giving a penalty in the game for flopping. Start utilizing the actual foul. And, I don't disagree with him. There's one variance that he says, should be an offensive foul. It should be a defensive foul, too. People flop on defense, too. SGA flops on defense. His teammates flop on defense.
There's a lot going on in the game right now.
There's a lot. What's the score?
I want to say they're only up by 6 at half.
Yeah. I feel like OKC is just going to ultimately win this game and close out the series.
No.
I kind of think that the NBA kind of wants that so that they can get the NBA Finals going.
No, they want Game 7 so they can get the advertisers.
Well, it is money, and you're probably right. Everything is about money, but and this right here really is the finals. What most people think, and a lot of people think that the New York Knicks, no matter who comes out of the West, it used to be no matter who comes out of the East, the West, whoever comes out of the West is going to win. Now all of a sudden, the Knicks are playing defense, they're playing solid defense, and they've kind of whooped everybody's ass on their way to the finals.
They're up by 7.
Okay, well, up by 7.
60-53.
Well, that's not enough. That's not enough, San Antonio, if you want to win. But so the Knicks all of a sudden are now the Cinderella at the ball. Everybody's like, oh, well, it doesn't matter who's coming out of the West. The San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to beat each other up. And the New York Knicks have all of this rest, and they've been playing solid defense. And if they could play that type of defense, I'm trying to do my Stephen A. voice. If they could play that type of defense, they can win the championship. And I don't disagree that if they played the way they've been playing in the East, but man, OKC and San Antonio, even all the way down to 5-6 in the West, is a different animal. Different animal, very physical. Minnesota, very physical. All of these teams, very physical defensively. The New York Knicks are still a finesse team. They're just a finesse team, and they're not going to bode well. Unless Jalen Rose gets that, or not Rose, Jalen Rose. Jesus Christ, now I'm showing my age. Jalen Brunson. Unless he gets the SGA whistle that entire series, there's no way that he's not going to get the crap beat out of him in that series, no matter who they play. Because every guard for both of those teams in the West are 6'5" and above. He's 6'3", 6'4". And I'm not trying to take anything away. He plays like he's 6'7". I'm not trying to take anything away from Brunson's game, but when you have guards and wing players that you can switch in and out on him, and every single one of them is physical, every single one of them is beating the crap out of him every single possession for 7 games or at least 4 games, that's a recipe for disaster. That's not a recipe for success. It's not. He's not a big guy. He has an injury history. I think that's kind of why Dallas was willing to let him go, which was dumb as hell. He's obviously the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's taken the New York Knicks to heights that nobody thought would come. That's 27 years in the making, 50-something years since they've actually hung a banner, a championship banner. Man, that's crazy to me. And that's coming from a Denver Nuggets fan that's been waiting forever. Like, the Nuggets, have been around for a long time, and I've been waiting since 1984 to see the Nuggets win a championship. I got my ring. I almost hope, unless San Antonio pulls through, and I don't know why I'm pulling for San Antonio. I do like Popovich. I do like the way San Antonio does their business, but I don't necessarily want them to win. I want my team to win. But if I had to choose out of the 3 teams, I would say I want San Antonio to win it all. But that doesn't take away the fact that I would like to see the New York Knicks. That'd be crazy to see a record of 50+ years since you've hung a banner. And they've had some trials and tribulations, man. They had to change out their coach. They had a new coach implemented this year and last year, I believe. Had to change it out from Thibodeau because Thibodeau was running Brunson and all of them into the ground, very similar to the way Michael Malone was doing his players here in Denver, and that's just not a good look. It's not a good look, man. You gotta make sure that your guys are fresh and ready to go when it comes to the end of the season, because the playoffs, as everybody says, that's a whole new season, right? It's a whole new season. You got to make sure that your best players are in their best physical condition at that time. And when you're running your guys, when you're playing them 40 minutes for 82 games, or even, let's say, 65, let's say you do the minimum, your star does the minimum, 65, just to make sure that he gets his accolades, right? Let's say 65. That's still 40 minutes times 65 games. That's a lot of minutes of basketball. And then you have to play up to 7 games 3-4 times, right? Like, come on, man. That's hard for anybody to do. I don't care if you get paid millions or if you're a professional athlete. That's hard to do.
Are you okay, dude?
Nah, I'm not okay. That's hard to do. It's even harder to go from 1973 to 2026 without winning a championship, dog. I mean, I guess the Denver Nuggets waited even longer because I believe the Nuggets have been around for, since the 60s. So they waited even longer. But it's kind of like I want to see Wembanyama possibly win his, because he's a freak of nature and plays the game the way I like professional players to play the game, with intensity, with purpose. He plays that way. So I would like to see him win a ring, but I'd also like to see, the New York Knicks. I'd like to see them win, break a curse in New York. But I tell you this, it's not going to be a parade in New York. It's not going to be a parade, a nice parade like we had here in Denver. There was some incidents in Denver, but it wasn't a riot. It wasn't a riot like when the Broncos won their first Super Bowl. That was crazy. I was a very, very young kid. I was late teens when I was at that parade in the 90s. And man, that was dangerous. It was a riot. It was literally a riot when the Denver Broncos won that first Super Bowl. And I thought maybe that might happen with the Denver Nuggets. But, I think we learned from our mistakes here in Denver. It was overall very peaceful and fun. I took my daughters. We had a great time. I'd like to see that for New York, but I don't think that's I think it's gonna be mayhem in the streets in Manhattan if the New York Knicks actually win an NBA championship, since they haven't seen that happen since 1973. That's before I was born, ladies and gentlemen. You saw this gray. I'm old, dog. Vinny, without I was going to say without divulging your age, but this divulges your age. What year were you born? Double sixes. Okay. So Vinny's been around long enough to not see.
I've watched every Super Bowl.
What a way not to age yourself there, Vinny.
There we go. I've watched every Super Bowl.
No, that's cool though, man. I mean, I hope to get to your age and still be as vibrant and moving around. But 1973, man, 1973. That's 7 years before I was even thought of. And they haven't played or won since then. And then 27 years. I do remember. I think it was the Marcus Camby years, or was it before that? But I don't even really recall. And I'm an avid NBA fan.
Yeah, I got to watch Good Sports.
Yeah, nice. You got to watch the plumbers and the architects and
rough no helmet hockey, man.
Oof. That'd be rough. I couldn't imagine.
No helmet hockey.
Oh, bruh.
Bro. Serious.
Like I can't even imagine playing hockey with the helmet.
And then it was a choice.
Yeah.
It was a choice.
Yeah. Man, we said it last week, man. I said it, I should say. I think hockey players are the toughest SOBs on this planet. Like, I really do. I'll stand on that 10 toes and die on that hill, brother. I really will. I really think that they do the most. I mean, I can't think of a more fast-paced and physical sport. You take hockey, basketball, and football, and a little bit of rugby, and you put all of that into one sport.
Motocross.
And then motocross is tougher than hockey?
Yeah.
They're tougher. I don't know, man. Come
Half
on.
hour straight, bro.
No
stops.
I don't think they're tougher.
Half hour.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Well, yeah, tough.
That's what I'm saying. Tougher.
Yeah.
Tougher. Like actual physicality. Tougher.
Yeah.
Hockey to me is like football, rugby, basketball, soccer, even a little bit of tennis mixed together.
We're not watching a 140-pound motocross guy go up against McKinnon.
Right. And you're not seeing a guy on a motocross bike getting fucking. Ooh, I just cussed on my own show. Damn. Well, the show's ruined. We're out of here. But you've never seen somebody like spear, or you don't get cross-checked or ran up against glass when you're riding your motocross, right? Like, it's just different.
Oh, no, you do.
No, you do? They get speared and stuff off of the bike?
Oh, yeah, you're going to die.
I know that you can get hurt in motocross. I'm not trying to diminish. Yes.
Yeah, you can die.
You can literally die.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they're not brave. I'm just saying that hockey players are the toughest on the planet. They're just maybe rugby. Maybe rugby.
Yeah,
rugby can make an argument because those dudes don't have teeth either. Like,
no, I don't know why you would do all that.
Man, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The reason why I fell in love with hockey is because any sport that you can fight in the middle of the game, get into a fight, like a literal fist fight.
Without getting arrested for assault.
You don't even get suspended, bro.
No.
You don't get fined.
2 to 5 minutes tops.
5 minutes tops. You get to sit down. It sucks for your team. You might take an L because they might score a goal, but that's the worst that's going to happen. It's not going to, after 5 minutes, you get right back on the ice. I've seen it, especially in this last series. The guys would get out of the penalty box, come out, and then all of a sudden their team would pass it to him, and he's on a fast break right there.
Right there.
It's an exhilarating sport. It's a sport of anticipation, though. A lot of people say that baseball's a sport of anticipation, but I don't know. But hockey is for sure. And it's fast paced and anticipation, though, because it's not high scoring. It's very similar to soccer in that aspect. It's not a real high scoring thing. I know watching the Avalanche, we see that it can be. You can have some of the greatest scorers and they could, 6 to 8 goals, but that's not the norm. That's not the norm. Most hockey games that I've seen and over the course of my years watching hockey games, it's like 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, And most of those are in overtime. And just to go back really quick, because we got 1 minute left here in the show, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Sports Fiend at Sports Fiends with the Z's. It does.
Everybody just relax.
The thought train has left the station. It's gone.
All right.
It's gone forever.
Here, Mark. This is again Mike and.
Hey, baby, I'm gonna get freaky with you. I know you won't get
Oh my God.
I won't give you that BDD. I know you won't.
Okay, with that, we will see y'all next week, same time, 7 p.m., coming to you live from So High Studios. Sports Fiends, y'all enjoy what sports we have left. We're waiting for football, man. We'll see y'all next week. Peace. Oh my God, I can't believe you played that.
See you next week, people. Peace.